forbidden romance, calculated cover-ups, and an unimaginable murder. Why would a physician, hardworking and charismatic, conceal such sinister plans? Born in Trinidad and Tobago, as a young child, Dalip was a troublemaker. He always challenged guidance and often landed himself in bad situations that required assistance. His father, Lakshmi Prasad Singh, emigrated to Trinidad from India after World War I with his wife. Working diligently as an indentured servant in the sugarcane fields, he saved over time, a perfect example of the phrase rags to riches. He eventually attained affluence and established his family in a grand mansion. But despite coming from a wealthy background and a seemingly perfect home, there was still something incredibly disturbing festering within Dalip. This corruption will later be revealed to the world. Dalip journeyed to Britain to start medical school in 1948. It was on this ship that he met Lucy Barrow, a young woman bound for London. During the 31-day sea voyage, Dalip and Lucy developed a romantic connection, but their romance was destined for an early end. Dalip encountered Inge Brown. Deeply in love with Inge, he would prematurely break his relationship with Lucy, which would turn out to be a blessing for Lucy from the evil tendencies within Dalip. Dalip completed his medical training in 1951. Subsequently, he took Inge, a young woman of 24, to the tropical haven of his birthplace, Trinidad and Tobago, where they would get married. Yet the blissful serenity of this tropical utopia was not to last for Inge. From the very beginning of Dalip and Inge's relationship, their families did not approve of it. Dalip's family, adherents of Hinduism, objected to the marriage on the basis of faith, while Inge's sibling, Nora, conveyed her distrust of Dalip, noting an unsettling quality about him and perceiving him as lacking in warmth and friendliness. Nora likely picked up on the sinister traits that Dalip no doubt wanted to keep hidden within, but it is hard to hide an evil mind from everyone. Eventually, Inge and Dalip would fall out, and they would separate. There were accusations of affairs on both sides based on reports. Inge would move away to the USA and stay with family. In the spring of 1954, Inge revisited their shared residence in Trinidad and Tobago to resolve remaining matters. Dalip had other plans in mind. Her choice would be the final trigger to push the doctor into enacting the plan erupting within his corrupted heart. On April 6, 1954, Inge vanished, but Singh knew where she was. Unknown to the outside world, she had met a violent end at his hands through strangulation. It was no doubt part of his plan when she came back from the United States. Following the heinous act, Singh employed his medical expertise in a manner that was both heartless and clinical. Here he became a doctor not to heal, but to conceal his evil. Singh resolved to take Inge's remains and leave them at the bottom of the ocean. With careful precision, he created a cut from her throat down to her waist, extracting only specific internal organs to ensure the body would sink beneath the waves. He drove Inge to the southern part of the island. There he is suspected to have taken her out to the sea and disposed of her body. To prevent her from floating, he placed her in a body bag filled with sand. He intended for her to vanish completely, without a trace, while he continued on with his life as normal, and his crime undetected. Only 2 days later, on April 4th in 1954, local fishermen stumbled upon Inge's remains. After they had been washed ashore, the fishermen promptly notified the authorities. This would be the beginning of the end for Dalip, and he would soon know it. It was Lucy's, his ex-girlfriend's brother, Russell, who conducted the postmortem examination and autopsy on Inge's remains. Incredible coincidence. He happened to be living in Trinidad and Tobago at the time as a medical worker. During the procedure, Singh walked in on Russell, and upon the autopsy of his own spouse, who he had just mercilessly killed, casual dialogue ensued between the two, while Inge's body lay lifeless in the room. Russell eventually asked Singh if he could identify the deceased he was examining, which Singh denied that he could. Eventually, Dalip was taken to court as a suspect, not because of Russell, but because of someone else who had been there during the day of Inge's disappearance. Singh's arrest came after a servant of his alerted authorities upon overhearing a tumultuous dispute between Singh and Inge before the disappearance of Inge, bringing further suspicion to Singh. Subsequent to a legal proceeding in Trinidad, where damning evidence was found, Singh was sentenced to death. His execution took place in Port of Spain on 28th of June, 1955. As the sun sets over the tranquil shores of Trinidad and Tobago, we find ourselves disturbed by the chilling tale of Inge. It's a story that transcends mere fiction. It's reality, weaving together the threads of love, betrayal, and tragedy. It's disappointing that it's the world we live in. The times we live in are scary, aren't they? With a seemingly endless parade of violent crimes and injustices committed every day, it's hard not to get fearful of what could happen to you, your family, or your friends. But there's no need to worry, no matter what may come your way. Fear not, for I am with you. Be not dismayed, for I am your God. God is with you at all times and is a constant source of strength. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. Also, if you would like to support this channel, please check out the link in the description. Check out my previous video as well.